This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Hello there, welcome to Metro Update on TVM. I am Fred O'Neill. These are the news making the round. The Delta State High Court sitting in Warri is set to resume the long-standing legal battle challenging the suspension of Chief Ayiri Imami as the Ologbosere, also known as the Prime Minister of Warri Kingdom. Today, March 16, 2026, marks the scheduled date for the pre-trial conference before Justice Veronica Agboje at the High Court following several months of procedural delays that have kept the case in limbo for nearly 4 years. The suit marked W/128/2021 was instituted by Chief Imami against the Ginawa-run ruling house and other key traditional figures. The claimant is seeking a court interpretation of the 1979 Traditional Rulers and Chiefs Edict, arguing that the body which purportedly suspended him lacked the legal authority to do so. At the last sitting in January, the court fined the defense counsel 20,000 naira for failing to file essential processes on time, an act the Ologbosere's legal team described as a deliberate strategy to frustrate the matter. Now, despite the appointment and installation of a substantive Ologbosere in Chief Omar Eyewoma by the Olu of Warri in 2023, Imami remains resolute, maintaining that a chieftaincy title in the Shekiri custom is held for life and cannot be stripped by co-chiefs or ruling houses. The outcome of today's pre-trial conference is critical as it will determine the timeline for the full trial and whether the court will finally delve into the merits of the traditional succession crisis that has divided opinion in the Iwere Kingdom. Still in Delta State, in a proactive move to strengthen the state security architecture, the Delta State government has approved the construction of 25 state-of-the-art divisional police headquarters across all local government areas. This massive investment, sanctioned during the State Executive Council meeting led by the Governor, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, is a strategic preparation for the anticipated implementation of state policing in Nigeria. The project, which is expected to cost over 34 billion naira, includes the establishment of a modern Special Police Protection Unit, SPU, alongside the 25 divisional facilities. Commissioner for Works on Rural Roads, Charles Anyawu, stated that while Delta remains one of the safest states in the country, the administration is committed to taking security a notch higher. By building one modern headquarters in each of the 25 local government areas, the state aims to provide the necessary infrastructure to house and support the personnel that will eventually form the core of a state-controlled police force. This initiative is a central pillar of the MORE agenda, prioritizing the security of lives and property as the primary responsibility of government. The Commissioner for Housing, God knows, Angel, has been directed to commence the necessary processes immediately to ensure the projects are delivered on specification and without delay. Now, with the federal government favorably disposed to decentralizing the police force, the Delta State is positioning itself at the forefront of the policy, ensuring that its grassroots security framework is ready for immediate deployment. We'll still remain with Delta State because in a heartfelt tribute to commemorate Mother's Day 2026, The chairman of Warri Southwest Local Government Area, Honorable Sylvester Oromoni, has described mothers as the indispensable backbone of society. In a message delivered to women across the local government area, the council boss lauded their tireless sacrifices and unwavering resilience, noting that the strength of the community rests firmly on the moral and social foundations laid by mothers. Honorable Romani, speaking on behalf of himself and the Vice Chairman, Honorable Christy Omamufe, emphasized that mothers play a unique role in nurturing and guiding the next generation with both wisdom and compassion. He acknowledged the quiet acts of care that often go unnoticed but served as the primary drivers of family stability and regional peace. The declaration comes at a time of increased social advocacy in Delta State, with the chairman urging mothers to remain steadfast in instilling values of discipline and integrity in their children to combat rising social vices. He said, "Your love and sacrifices shape our families and by extension our nation." End of quote. While saluting grandmothers and mother figures for their enduring heartbeat within the home. Now, the council chairman concluded by wishing all mothers a joyful celebration, praying that they live to enjoy the fruits of their labor as the state continues to implement policies that empower women at the grassroots level. And out to Edo State, because the State Police Command has launched a comprehensive investigation into alleged secret court initiation ceremonies that are taking place at secondary school in Benin City. The follow-up action was triggered by a series of disturbing viral videos showing students subjected to violent bullying and physical assault, which investigators now suspect may be part of a coordinated recruitment drive for illicit groups within the institution. The Edo State Police Public Relations Officer confirmed that tactical units have been deployed to the school to identify both the perpetrators and the victims captured in the footage. Preliminary findings suggest that the incidents, initially reported as pair-on-pair bullying, bear the hallmarks of ritualistic testing associated with local cult groups. School authorities have been summoned for questioning to determine how such activities could have occurred on school premises without immediate detection or intervention. The command has emphasized a zero-tolerance policy toward the infiltration of secondary schools by cultists, warning that any student found to be a member of a secret society will face full prosecution regardless of their age. The state government has also intervened, directing the Ministry of Education to conduct a safety audit across all public and private schools in Benin to prevent the further spread of cult-related violence among teenagers. We still remain with that story because the family of the student seen in that disturbing viral bullying video has officially broken their silence, issuing a public apology for their child's actions. This comes as the school involved takes swift disciplinary action. Now, that's the video that no parent wants to see. And for one family, the reality of being on the other side of the lens has led to a public plea for forgiveness. Now, following days of intense backlash, the parents of the students involved released a statement today. In it, they expressed deep shame and regret, stating that the behavior shown in the clip does not reflect the values they strive to teach at home. They noted they are cooperating fully with authorities and are committed to ensuring their child undergoes counseling and takes accountability. But for many, an apology is only the first step. The victim is reportedly receiving medical evaluation and psychological support. The school management confirmed this morning that the students identified in the video have been expelled with immediate effect. The local police department has also stepped in. They have invited the victims' parents to file a formal complaint, emphasizing that bullying of this severity, which included physical assault, is a criminal offense. And now to Cross River State. The scheduled official opening of the African Democratic Congress's secretariat in Cross River State has been postponed indefinitely over attack on its members and properties by hoodlums suspected to be in the opposition. The attackers, who stormed the venue in Bakassi local government area shortly after members and supporters of the coalition had converged, appeared fiercely armed while destroying the venue's setup and warning people to stay off the area. The attackers reportedly pulled down canopies, scattered chairs, and damaged parts of the sound system that had been set up for the ceremony, creating panic among attendees, forcing them to seek for immediate safety. Although no arrest was made at the venue, it took the swift response and intervention of men of the Nigerian police force through the tactical response team to calm the situation and possibly restore peace to the community. However, due to the uncertainty and guaranteed safety, the official opening ceremony of the Secretariat could not proceed as earlier scheduled, as members and supporters await a directive from the leaders. It is worthy of note that the party's relevance is beginning to gather momentum across various local government areas of the state, with political gladiators, including former governors Donald Duke and Leah Limoke, joining the list of dignitaries already enlisted in the party. As of the time of reporting, filing this report, no official statement has been made by the leadership of the African Democratic Congress in Cross Rivers. Still on Cross Rivers, former presidential candidate and high-ranking member of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Peter Obi, has issued a blistering condemnation following the violent disruption of the party's new secretariat opening in Bakassi, Cross River State. Describing the incident as a worrisome decline in democratic standards, Obi warned that the unchecked activities of the political thugs pose an existential threat to the nation's political stability ahead of the 2027 general elections. The incident occurred on Saturday, March 14, 2026, when suspected political thugs stormed the venue in Bakassi local government area just as party faithful gathered for the commissioning ceremony. Various social media footage showed irate youths dismantling canopies, smashing loudspeakers, and scattering hundreds of chairs while chanting that only the ruling party will be allowed to operate in the council area. In a statement released via X on Monday, March 16, Peter Obi asserted that when individuals can openly destroy property and disperse peaceful political gatherings without facing immediate arrest, it reflects a dangerous erosion of the rule of law. The Cross River State Police Command has confirmed the deployment of tactical teams to the area to prevent a total breakdown of order, though no arrests have been made as of Monday morning, March 16. This Bakassi disruption follows a similar pattern of interference reported in Calabar earlier last week, prompting the ADC leadership to raise an alarm over coordinated attempts to hijack the party's structure in the South-South. We'll take a quick break now. We'll return with more stories.
Welcome to Dursag Engineering and Services Limited, a trusted name in the oil and gas industry, proudly registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission since the year 2000. We hold several specialized permits with the Department of Petroleum Resources, are accredited with service and product codes by NIPEX, certified by Dun & Bradstreet, and proudly ISO 9001:2015 certified. Our head office is strategically located at 43 Airport Road, Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. At DERSAG, our areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, both local and highly trained expatriate personnel, engineering services across civil, electrical, instrumentation, and mechanical works, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speedboats. We are proud partners to some of the industry's leading players, including NNPC and its subsidiaries, Seplat Petroleum, First Hydrocarbon Nigeria Limited, ND Western, Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited, and Lee Engineering and Construction, among others. Over the years, we have successfully executed manpower, EPC, and marine support projects with a strong record of excellence. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions. Welcome to DERSAG Engineering and Services.
Welcome back. You're still watching TVM's Metro Update. The federal government has raised a major alarm over an alleged campaign of calumny designed to embarrass President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his upcoming historic state visit to the United Kingdom. According to the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, an embattled mining firm known as Jupiter Limited is orchestrating a series of protests and a media offensive in London to discredit Nigeria's mining reforms and mislead the international community. The ministry, in a statement by Special Assistant Segun Tomori, revealed that the controversy stems from the revocation of mineral titles previously held by Basin Mining Limited, a Nigerian company reportedly fronted by Australian national Steve Davis. The government claims Davis and his associates are attempting to use the high-profile nature of the president's visit, the first state visit to Windsor Castle by a Nigerian leader in 37 years, to blackmail the administration into reversing its regulatory stance. The ministry further clarified that Jupiter Lithium has no legal relationship with the Nigerian government, as the law prohibits foreign entities from holding mineral titles directly. Officials dismissed claims that titles were seized to favor Chinese interests as complete fabrication, insisting that the government will not be intimidated by shows of shame organized abroad. President Tinubu and First Lady Oluremi are scheduled to be hosted by King Charles III and Queen Camilla this Wednesday and Thursday, marking a significant milestone in Nigeria-UK diplomatic relations. The government has urged both Nigerians and the international community to disregard the planned protests, characterizing the move as a desperate attempt by speculators to circumvent transparency and sanity in the mining sector. Now, in a historic departure from the stance of his predecessors, the newly sworn-in Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Diso, has declared that state policing is necessary and inevitable for Nigeria's evolving security landscape. Speaking shortly after his inauguration at the State House, IGP Diso affirmed that the concept of decentralized policing has officially come to stay, signaling a major shift in the force's approach to internal security management. The new police chief, who was sworn in by President Bola Tinubu on March 4, 2026, wasted no time in constituting a high-level 8-man committee to develop a comprehensive implementation framework. Led by Professor Olu Ogunshaki, the Director General of the National Institute for Police Studies, the panel has been given a 4-week mandate to produce a position paper that outlines how state police will synergize with the federal structure. IGP Diso emphasized that the force is not afraid of the change, framing it as a vital partnership to bring law enforcement closer to the grassroots, while the federal police focus on complex trans-border crimes like terrorism and cybercrime. The committee, which includes seasoned professionals like CP Bode Ojajuni and retired CP Emmanuel Ojuko, is tasked with addressing critical concerns regarding funding, operational coordination, and the prevention of political misuse by state governors. This bold move marks the official end of the era of opposition from the police hierarchy, positioning the Nigerian police force as a central stakeholder in the constitutional transition toward a multi-layered security system. And now to business. The Nigerian Naira opened the trading week on Monday, March 16, 2026, with a slight recovery in the official market, trading at an average of 1,387 Naira 89 kobo per dollar. This marginal gain comes as the Central Bank of Nigeria continues its strategic liquidity injections, a move that market analysts say is effectively curbing the extreme speculation that has previously volatilized the foreign exchange market. Data from the Nigerian foreign exchange market shows that while the currency hovered near the 1,400 Naira mark at the close of last Friday, today's opening indicates a strengthening of the local unit. Intraday trading saw highs of 1,388 Naira 65 kobo, with some transactions recorded as low as 1,385 Naira 67 kobo. This stabilization is being attributed to a combination of increased foreign portfolio inflows and the consistent supply of forex from the Apex Bank to bureau de change operators. In the parallel market, the Naira shows similar resilience, with traders in Lagos and Abuja quoting buying rates at 1,385 Naira and selling at 1,395 Naira. The narrowing spread between the official and black market rates, now less than 2%, suggests that recent monetary policy adjustments, including the current 26.5% monetary policy rate, are achieving the desired effect of currency defense and inflation control. However, experts warn that despite this short-term stability, the high interest rate environment continues to place significant pressure on domestic borrowing costs for local businesses and manufacturers. Now, still on business, new data coming in from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has revealed that Nigeria continues to spend a staggering $1.5 billion annually on dairy imports to bridge a massive 60% domestic production gap. Despite possessing one of Africa's largest cattle populations, the nation's dairy subsector remains significantly underdeveloped, forcing a heavy reliance on foreign milk powder and derivatives to meet the rising demands of a growing population. The NBS report highlights a stark contrast between Nigeria's livestock potential and its current output, noting that while the country hosts approximately 55 million cattle, the average milk yield remains at a low 0.5 to 2.0 liters per cow daily. This is far below the global average and contributes to a situation where local production accounts for only 700,000 metric tons of the 1.6 million metric tons consumed annually. Now, to combat this, the federal government, through the Ministry of Livestock Development, has launched a new partnership with the EU Dairy Coalition of the Willing. This initiative aims to double local production to 1.4 million tons within the next 5 years by focusing on breed improvement, including the recent importation of high-yield Danish heifers. Furthermore, the government is offering incentives such as 5-year tax holidays for new dairy processors and low-interest loans to help pastoralists transition to more productive sedentary farming models. Now, the administration emphasizes that closing this $1.5 billion gap is not just an economic necessity, but a vital step toward national food security and the creation of thousands of jobs within the local agricultural value chain. And now let's go to some international news. The escalating conflict between Iran and Israel has entered its third week, with global tensions reaching a fever pitch as the United States administration moves to secure the world's most vital maritime oil artery. President Donald Trump has issued a stern ultimatum to both NATO allies and China, demanding a coordinated intervention to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which remains effectively paralyzed by the ongoing hostilities. The closure of the strait, through which approximately one-fifth of the world's oil consumption passes, has sent global energy markets into a tailspin. Washington has signaled that it will no longer bear the primary security tax for international shipping lanes alone, explicitly calling on Beijing to use a significant leverage over Tehran to de-escalate the naval blockade. Within NATO, the demand for a unified freedom of navigation task force has sparked intense debate among European leaders, wary of a wider regional conflagration. Meanwhile, on the ground, the conflict shows no signs of abating as both Iran and Israel continue to trade long-range strikes, with the humanitarian toll and the risk of a total regional collapse mounting daily. The White House has indicated that all options are on the table if diplomatic and economic pressure fails to restore the flow of commerce through the Persian Gulf by the end of the week. As the standoff intensifies, the international community remains on high alert, with oil prices hitting record highs and global supply chains facing their most severe disruption in recent history. Now, operations at Dubai International Airport, DXB, were thrown into chaos in the early hours of Monday, March 16, following a drone strike that ignited a major fire at a nearby fuel storage facility. The Dubai Civil Aviation Authority immediately suspended all flight operations as a precautionary measure, marking the third such disruption in a week as regional security threats continue to escalate. The strike, which occurred during the early morning hours, targeted a fuel tank in the vicinity of the world's busiest international hub. While Dubai civil defense teams successfully contained the blaze without any reported injuries, the resulting security protocol forced a total ground stop of departures and the diversion of dozens of inbound flights to Al Maktoum International Airport and other regional terminals. The UAE Ministry of Interior has issued a condition red alert, citing a credible missile threat linked to the ongoing drone and ballistic campaign. Major carriers, including Emirates and Fly Dubai, initially grounded all services, advising thousands of stranded passengers to avoid the airport entirely. However, as of 10 a.m. local time, authorities have announced a gradual resumption of flights to selected destinations. Despite this, a limited schedule remains in place, and several key roads leading to the airport, including the airport tunnel and Al Garood Bridge, remain temporarily closed for emergency response activities. The incident coincides with a broader wave of regional instability following recent military strikes on Iranian export hubs, with Tehran previously warning of retaliation against strategic infrastructure linked to Western interests. And now to entertainment. Global rap icon Nicki Minaj has threatened legal action against prominent Nigerian social media influencer and medical doctor, Dr. Penkin, over allegations of cyberbullying and copyright infringement. The dispute, which has dominated social media trends, stems from a post where the influencer suggested the rapper should retire due to her age, sparking a sharp response from the artist's legal team. The controversy began on Saturday when Dr. Perkins shared a years-old video of the rapper on X with a caption stating that the 43-year-old artist should understand that she has gotten old and retire. Reacting via her verified handle in a now-deleted post, Nicki Minaj questioned if the influencer had obtained the necessary permissions to utilize her past footage to harass her across digital platforms. She explicitly tagged her high-profile U.S. attorney, Tony Buzbee, stating that Dr. Perkin had been added to the suit. In response, the Nigerian doctor has maintained a defiant stance, citing freedom of speech and expression as a constitutional right to his personal opinion. He argued that citing her age, which is publicly available information, does not constitute harassment, and stated that his team is ready and eagerly anticipating any formal legal papers. Legal observers have noted that while the rapper resides in the U.S., pursuing a case against a Nigerian citizen would involve complex jurisdiction hurdles, likely requiring the establishment of grounds under Nigeria's Cybercrime Act. Now, this exchange has sparked a wider debate on social media regarding the boundaries between celebrity critique and digital harassment, with fans of the rapper known as the Barbs and supporters of the influencer trading heated arguments over the validity of the copyright claims. And still on entertainment, international Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has added his voice to the growing outcry following a viral bullying incident at the Igbinedion Education Center in Benin City. Reacting to the disturbing footage that surfaced online, the singer described the assault as disheartening and called on the relevant authorities to ensure that justice is served to protect students from such trauma. The viral video, which shows several students of the elite institution brutally assaulting a classmate, has sparked widespread outrage across Nigeria, leading to allegations of court-related initiation rights within the school. Davido, who has a history of speaking out on social justice issues, took to his social media platforms on Monday, March 16, to demand accountability from the school management and the Edo State government. His intervention comes as the Edo State Police Command confirmed a formal investigation is underway to determine if the attack was part of a secret court recruitment drive. In response to the public pressure, the management of Igbinedion Education Center announced the immediate expulsion of the students identified in the video, while the state government has inaugurated a 5-man committee to conduct a safety audit of the institution. The singer emphasized that no child should feel unsafe in a place of learning, urging parents and educators to be more vigilant in monitoring the social dynamics of their children. Now, the intervention by the timeless crooner has further amplified the case, with several human rights organizations now monitoring the police investigation to ensure that the expelled students are also held legally accountable for the physical assault. And that wraps up this edition of TVM's Metro Update. For more updates throughout the day, please follow us on all our digital platforms and stay tuned to TVM for trusted news and in-depth coverage. I am Fred O'Neill. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.